All right. What is up, everybody? It is Saturday. That means it is time for the Crypto Weekly Outlook. Let me shut this phone off, as I always forget to do that for some reason. All right, what's up, everybody? So we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's wedging up. Bitcoin's been very unfriendly as of late. Basically just trading sideways in a range whilst making lower highs. The important thing to understand, as well, as you have not made any lower lows since the capitulation low wick down here. So essentially what you have forming right now is a descending wedge. So let's go over to the big bad DXY and I will show you the last descending wedge we had on this asset before you had a bullish breakout. So when looking at chart patterns, there are several. Descending wedges are usually looked at as a bullish opportunity. Okay, so that's the only reason I bring it up. So Bitcoin is having or making a descending wedge. So these typically have breakout possibilities to the upside. I wouldn't suggest getting long in front of something that you expect to happen, but rather wait for it to happen. So that way, just in case this descending wedge doesn't break out to the upside, you will know basically that it didn't work. So instead of losing money on expecting it to work, just simply wait on it to happen. Once it happens, then you can look for bullish entries on this asset. Today, basically what we've got going on today is we are just simply testing support. This was, where was that level at? Excuse me one moment, as I just got off of another stream. So this, not that level, that's not the level I want. So here is your daily, your last daily candle. So obviously that closing candle is going to make a difference. There is an 8-hour level right there that the mic, oh sorry, apologies everybody, let me turn the mic up just a bit. It's up pretty good. Maybe that's better. All right, so this is your daily, but the 8-hour level that I'm more importantly focusing on is 32,970 spot 50, as that is an area of possible supply. So if price trades all the way down to there, I'm not saying that it will, not at all, but if it does, that is still, you know, a pretty good spot for possibly me watching to see if this thing is going to go lower. But I don't think it is. I think Bitcoin has been trading in this range for enough time. We have tested these lows on multiple occasions. What are the lows that are so fantastic? Well, if you go into a yearly chart, let's just bring this up real quickly, get rid of all these lines. So this is your yearly candle that you are on currently. If you mark that level, that opening price of that yearly candle, that is your yearly opening range, and then the bottom of that wick becomes your yearly low. All right, which is fantastic. If you go into a daily chart over here and look, this is when Bitcoin this year 2021 opened. Bitcoin put in a low. This was the low of your yearly opening range. This is January the 1st. So this is when Bitcoin opened. You had a nice push down, made a low, and then you started to trade higher. You have tested the opening range on a couple of occasions. On that yearly opening range test, you did put in a fantastic, awesome new support, and that's when Bitcoin traded away from it. So if we go back over here to current price action, you can see that this capitulation low wick traded down into the yearly opening range and almost down into the yearly low, but then immediately traded back out of that. So there is your support on a daily time frame. That is your last support that was put in after the yearly opening range. And you can see we have not even come close to closing a daily candle down there. So this is a low test. It is wedging up, making tighter and tighter ranges as it goes down. You can see the lows are above this low, or this low right here is above this low. So you are tightening up. So if Bitcoin does get a breakout above this wedge that it is putting in right now, you can possibly see a pretty fantastic bullish move off of it, as there are a lot of short sellers that are just basically selling off of that section of price. Good evening, everybody. What is up? Yeah, so hello guys, what's up, chat? Turn that mic up a little. That's why she came in and told me to turn it up. Thank you, Maverick, for letting me know. Hopefully that sounds better. So let's get this stuff rolling, guys. All right, so what we're going to be watching is if Bitcoin breaks out these three lower lines. The last daily support level, once that opening range low was put in, is $30,381. $30,381. Then you got your yearly open at 28,951, and then your yearly low at 27,650. These are key, crucial, very important levels, as in Bitcoin's past. This does not mean that past performances is indicative of future results, but in the past, Bitcoin has never taken out a yearly low, ever, not once, which, if you ask me, is pretty fantastic. Never. Let's go to the BLX index just so that way we can be on the same foot. Never has Bitcoin ever. Oh, wait, that's a lie right there. You took out a yearly low. So apologies. There you go, right there on the BLX. You did absolutely take out a yearly low. So that Twitter tweet I read was wrong. There you go. But anyways, moving on. That yearly opening range is very, very important for Bitcoin's future. All right. If we start getting daily closures down into these levels, then you can possibly look for lower prices, right? If you get a breakout to the upside of this descending wedge, then basically what you're going to wait for is a retest of support. The last daily support level we have from this low that was found, you had a big bullish candle that came up, took out this area right here, right? So this was your resistance on this downtrend, this leg of price. There's your bullish close, well above it. And then you've tested it and tested it. So now you're starting to see some bullish price action. This is what you want to see, right? So basically moving on, there is a daily supply zone right there at 37,541. We definitely got to get a daily closure up into that area to further say that, yes, it looks like Bitcoin will be trying to break out to the bullish side of this descending wedge. If you still fail here and completely fail there tomorrow as well, which would be your weekly close, then maybe this isn't going to go that route. So just be patient, set on hands. Do not try to interpret what price may do. Let it break out. This is the major daily level that I want to see a daily closure above. So let's bring this over here, as I'm not taking positions on Bitcoin just yet. I did take a short trade on Doge Friday evening, and I will go over that trade as it was a fantastic trade. So 40,629, that's the level we want a daily closure above. You get that, you will have broken out of this descending triangle as well, or descending wedge, whatever you want to call it. Then we will be looking for a retest of old resistance to possibly hold as new support. At that time, that's when people will be possibly looking for bullish entries, as Bitcoin is trying to do something here. We don't know what it's trying to do, but it definitely, with this bullish candle, does not look like it's wanting to test lows. It looks like it has found buyers as of now. All right, this candle was red today. It is now green. You are, for some reason, it's not telling me how long I got left on this close, but it closes at 8 p.m. So there's about an hour and 45 minutes left on this daily close. A close above this daily candle would be fantastic, as that level is right there. It looks to me like Bitcoin's getting wound up, ready to make a push to the upside. Like all things, I could be wrong, as this is not financial advice. This is just me telling you what I'm looking at on the price as of right now. So Bitcoin is looking better. It's being constructive. I did love this big bullish candle that we had the other day. I absolutely love the fact that we have not even tested the midpoint of that candle yet, which is fantastic. So remember, looking back at the 8-hour, let's go back over to Bitcoin here. Looking at the 8-hour, you can see we can trade all the way down to there. And that is the line in the sand. As long as we're not closing 8-hour candles below 32,970, spot 50, this bullish push is still intact. It absolutely can find support down there and then get a nice big bullish run. We are still trading in that massive daily candles range. This is the candle in question right here, this big daily. As long as you're trading inside of its high and inside of its low, you are simply trading in a massive range of price. So it looks like we have tried to test the lows, and it looks like we are somewhat getting a bounce from this. This pattern can play out for another week or so, right? The level that you do not want to see that closure below, like I said, is 32,970. You get that, then this bullish push was nothing more than another lower high in this sequence of, let's be honest, bearish price action. All right, the sellers are in full control of this asset, but there are plenty of levels up here, in my opinion, that need to be tested. All right, I am looking for a retest of the $50,000 area before, if Bitcoin is going to roll over and start the bear cycle, or the bearish cycle of this market, or the bearish phase of this market cycle. I do believe that price will trade up to there. So if you are still holding into this pain from this last push down, if you're still holding and you're looking for exits above 45K, anywhere from above 45K, if you want to exit because you think that Bitcoin has put in a high, then those would be a pretty good spot to look for possible exits. All right, I'm not exiting there. I'm just simply saying, if you want to exit, that's what I would wait on. Definitely looks like it's trying to wedge up, and like I said, wedges do have a pretty good chance of breaking out to the upside. So here we go on Ethereum USD. It's not looking so good. All right, let's go over here to the 8-hour. It's kind of doing the same thing. It's trading up inside of a range. Resistance has been tested multiple times on your 8-hour chart, and you have been unable to close an 8-hour candle above that. So price is simply just advertising to all the short sellers that, hey, I can't get above 29.11, you should short me there, right? That's going to be a target for bullish entries eventually. If price starts to catch a bullish bid, we will be looking to target prices above 29.11. Here is your last 8-hour down closing candle from this section of price. You can see there you have tested it as support. We are back into it, testing it now again as support with a lower push. However, you got a nice close back above it. So, yep, there's a bullish candle right there. All right, it's not a massive bullish candle. It's definitely what you want to see if lows are being put in. I do have to say that sellers will be trying to reload on short positions around the 25.69 spot 36 level, as they're going to be looking at this as a retest, as you did get a lower 8-hour close than this close right here. You got two of them. All right, so that is indicative of more bearishness ahead. It doesn't mean that it will happen. It just simply means that short sellers will be watching that level, which will also provide fuel to the fire if it does catch a bid like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the ship, it is the tide, rather, that lifts all boats. So whatever Bitcoin does, you will see that same price action, or roughly about the same price action on your majors, on most of your majors over here. And you can see that it's a mixed bag. You've got several assets that are trading up on the day, 6, 7, 8%. You've got several assets, including Bitcoin, that is still trading red on the day. So it is definitely a mixed bag. It's not a sea of red like we've been seeing for the last few weeks, right? So yeah, take from that what you will. Let's go real quick and look at the Doge trade, and then I will answer any questions anybody has. So right there in big bold white letters, that was my entry. Let's get rid of this, as I am watching that for near-term price. But this trade has already taken place. All right, it has already taken place. I have already taken profits. So basically, this is a downtrend. You are making lower highs and lower lows. And this was a lower low than this bearish candle here. So the downtrend on Doge is still in effect. So this was your push up, and then you started making lower lows. So Friday, when we had this bullish spike, we traded right into an 8-hour supply level, or an 8-hour leftover order area, whatever you want to call it. That's where I got short. Put my stop loss directly above this wick high. My target was support. This is support. 0.30056. There's your last 8-hour closing candle at that level before you traded away. You have never came back in to retest that level until this area here. So that was a test of support. You did get a slight bounce from that support test. However, it was a lower high bounce. So this doesn't look great, right? So here was another lower high, but just testing this support, you still have a main support beneath you, which that is where I took profits. 2/3 of the position off, moved the stop to break even. This looks like support is holding. It does look like there is selling pressure here. You are having trouble getting above this 8-hour opening price of that bullish candle, which is a legitimate level to look for resistance. However, I would not be tempted to short this just yet, as there are levels on this chart that can go higher, right? There is places around 35,983 to this wick high. That is a bullish target, this wick right here. So if people start to buy Doge again and you start to get pushes up, there is a fantastic bullish target there. But I want to see more bullishness coming off of this support. This is the weekend, so you probably won't get any kind of information that we need to make as far as higher probable setups goes until Monday or Tuesday. But it is testing support right now, and most of the things are testing support. All right, Bitcoin is not yet. It's still up pretty good. Did have a bearish push, did take out lows, did close below. You are testing it for possible resistance. So like I said, you could absolutely fail up here and roll over and come all the way down to 32,970. That is the main place that I'm watching, 32,970. 8-hour closure below that. This is your next area of support, the close of that bearish candle at 31,770. And then obviously, since you took out this bearish target with this push down, your next bearish target is your capitulation wick low at $28,157 right there. All right, so if the sellers remain in control, they will be targeting that level there as target profits, right? They take their profits off ahead of those targets, just like I do. So we will just have to wait and see, guys. It is the weekend, so it's just not a lot going on. Not a lot going on. So let's check out the chat. What's up, everybody? So that's fun. Yeah, right? Hello, Heath. Hope you are having an awesome weekend, Heath. I am having a fantastic weekend. Droz Wills Victoria, thank you for asking. Good Saturday from Pennsylvania, folks. Welcome, Brian. Looks like a simple bear flag to me. Yeah, you can call it that. That's exactly what it looks like. A bear flag, a bear pennant, whatever you want to call it. That's what it looks like. The reality of the matter is you're trading inside of this massive daily candles range. So you are range bound and you're not doing a whole lot. You're basically bouncing off resistance and bouncing off support. You definitely need a breakout one way or the other before any trending decisions can be made. You are right. Good evening, Monique. Hi, Heath. How are you doing? Could you please check UNFI? It looks bullish. Let's go look at it. UNFI says it looks bullish. Don't see it versus the dollar, so we'll just simply look at it on Binance. Looks bullish, he says. Looks like you're pressing into support, so you're making lower highs each time you get a bounce in price. That bounce is being met with selling. This is why it looks like this. Same thing. You're forming some kind of wedge up pattern, a pennant pattern, a bear flag, whatever you want to call it. The consolidation is starting to get a little bit long in the tooth, which is why I'm saying that you could possibly see a pretty explosive move to the upside or to the downside incoming. As generally when you have a flag on a bear flag, if your flag gets more, I guess you could say, longer than your flagpole, it is no longer a bear flag. Something else is going on, as bear flags usually play out a lot quicker once it gets wedged up, gets formed into tighter and tighter formations. Then you can look for that formation to break. There's your last support on your daily candle right there. 7 spot 845. That's your last and lowest daily close. So that is support. You have tested it twice. You've tested it again today while making lower highs in the process. If you get a breakdown, if this thing breaks down, you will be targeting this bullish candle's wick low at 5 spot 632. If you get a breakout to the upside, you will be testing or looking for this bullish candle's wick high, as that will be your next target to the upside at 14 spot 46. 14 spot 46. So yes, you are in a range and almost in the middle of the range. You are slightly lower than the middle of the range. So it does look like the sellers are in control of this asset. They have been in control of this asset since March the 1st, 2021, as you have never made a higher high since that day, and you have put in lower lows since that day. This was your low. Here was your another lower high. There was your low taken out. So you have higher or lower highs and lower lows. You are trending bearishly on this asset. Doesn't look bullish to me at all, not even a little bit. It looks like it's getting ready to hit to the downside. Doesn't mean it will. Nope. It just means it's what it looks like it's trying to do. Obviously, bulls are trying to defend 7 spot 845. A daily closure below that level could indicate more bearishness, looking for 5 spot 63. Hello, Janice Swift. How are you this evening? Ajith Cosman says, smash those like button, guys. I would appreciate it. It's fantastic. Thank you in advance for doing so. Hey, Heat, CTM Strong. Thank you. Joseph, welcome. Wish I could smash it 1,000 million times, says Monique Johnson. Thank you, Monique. I appreciate it. It's fantastic. The support is absolutely fantastic. What was the yearly wick low, says Brian. Let's go look at it again, as I don't remember. Right there it is, my friend. Yearly wick low, 27,650 even. 27,650 bucks. Now this is Bitcoin on not KuCoin, apologies, I take that back. This is Kraken's exchange. That price may vary depending on which exchange you look at. So for instance, Coinbase's might not be 27,650. Let's go see. 27,650, and yep, see, it may be different. Let's go look at it. Oh, I gotta take this with me. 27,678 for Coinbase yearly low. All right, around the $27,000 area. It's gonna vary from exchange to exchange, but around that area. Can you check ICPUSDT? Insane Clown Posse has a cryptocurrency. Yeah, let me go look at it. USDT. I'm just kidding. I don't know what this asset is. I've never traded it. Let's get off the yearly, as it's a fairly new asset. This is going to be on Binance. Let me see here. Yeah, so Binance would probably have more data than any other exchange at this point, unless it came on live on the same day, May 10th. Where's Binance? So May 11th. Yeah, it looks like it's a fairly new crypto asset. This is your your initial coin offering, your ICO. That is your opening price at 249 spot 76. Once you took that price out, right, you came back and retested it. Not quite, but it held as resistance, and you have only been making lower lows and lower highs ever since. I do not have a support level for you, as you have broken all of the other ones. it is trending to the downside. This was support until it was broken. This was support until it was broken. So each subsequent candle after was support until it was broken. Boom. Support, broken. Next, support, broken. You are currently testing that last support zone at 66.57 as resistance. I can't tell you of a level to watch lower than that. That is physically the only price action data we have on this asset. It is bearish, as bearish can get. It is only going down. Is it going to find support and start making higher highs and higher lows? Well, you have to wait on that to happen first. All right, you have to literally physically wait until that starts to take place, as then you can make trading decisions based on the long side. If you know a lot about this asset and you know that it is really bullish as far as fundamentals goes, then I don't know what to tell you, really. I mean, you could buy it here. Make sure you put a stop loss underneath that bullish candle's wick. This is not financial advice, but that's the lowest low this chart has ever made. So if you take that out, there's a pretty good chance you're heading lower, right? So it's not looking great. Today you are sounding positive for bullish Bitcoin. That's good to hear. Well, I mean, the overall structure is not bullish. Except, I mean, if you look at it on a quarterly, your 3-month chart, it's absolutely positively bullish. All right, there's your month, 3 quarters, or 3 months makes a quarter. So since 2021, you have basically put in a trending candle to the upside. So that was your first quarter of this year. This is your second quarter of this year. All right, you are coming in for a retest of lows. If it holds, you can look for bullish continuation. That's basically what you have to do. I mean, these candlesticks are fractal, their ranges and everything it's dependent on the time frame that you're looking at. The monthly doesn't look so bullish. I mean, it still longer term looks bullish, but on the monthly chart, you've taken out several monthly lows in one fell swoop, which is like basically what a blow off top looks like. So the smaller in you go on the time frames, the worse Bitcoin starts to really kind of look. There's a weekly low right there, taken out with this capitulation low. You even took out that wick. Nope, you did not take out that wick. So I would be assuming that that's your yearly opening range low. This weekly candle looks better than this weekly candle, kind of. Tomorrow it will close, obviously, so we can't go on anything yet. Here is weekly resistance for the price range that Bitcoin is currently trading in. All right, you are trading above it. The resistance, well, no, you're not, because that week would be new resistance, as it did get a higher close. So weekly resistance is 35,780 spot 50. 35,780 spot 50. Here you go. This is it. This is that level right there. That's your weekly resistance. So a daily close, if you keep closing dailies above that weekly resistance, especially tomorrow, that means you're going to be above weekly resistance on a closing basis, which would be fantastic, as it would make this candle green, which tells us that the week closed up. Up closing week is bullish. It's more bullish than down closing weeks. You are still in this range, though, this weekly range. You've got a lot of work to do to get up into there. Last weekly support before it was broke is all the way up here for the near term. Once you broke that, then this was your support. You broke that, so on and so forth, right? So the bulls are absolutely trying to defend this last one over here, which is why you've got this wicky range bound price action. Definitely doesn't look good. It definitely doesn't. You have not been able to take out your prior week's highs. So ever since the capitulation week was put in, every subsequent week thereafter put in a lower high. It's forming a wedge pattern. So it definitely doesn't look fantastically bullish. But there's a lot of stops up here, so if you do get a bullish push up into there, you're going to see an expansion in range. You could be testing 43,596 before you know it. And the same goes for the downside. If you take out this weekly support right here on your capitulation low tomorrow, if you get a weekly close below that, you have literally taken out your last weekly support, and your target would be capitulation wick low. So I'm invested in ICP, but it's a nightmare right now. Yeah, it is, Narwhal Tacos. It is only going lower, my friend. You might want to think about, well, like I said, it's not financial advice, but if you're putting in lower highs and lower lows, it's not going in your favor. What's up, Nominal Egg? Rob Mesa, yo, yo, yo. Always appreciate your analysis. Thank you, Rob, for being here, my friend. So the chat just went all the way down to the downside, so I gotta go back up. There we go. There I am. So I'm not far from the low. That's fantastic. Thank you for your stream. Smash that like, says Mr. Vizzle. Thank you, Mr. Vizzle. ICP's founders pumped the price way up at first and then immediately sold off into the retail investors as the price plummeted, leaving you holding the empty bags. I wouldn't touch it. Yeah, if ICP's founders dumped all of their tokens that they essentially created out of thin air, that should tell you a whole lot about the project, right? If I'm the owner of the company, I build it, I do a public offering to get it publicly traded on the open market, and then pump the price way up and then dump all of my coins, that tells you something. That means the founders of the project don't see a future for it, and it was simply just another pump and dump in the crypto market. But I don't know that that's what happened. Obviously, I've never traded it and I don't know anything about it. But that's what it looks like. Brett Armstrong, nice. A Heath doubleheader. Yes, Jordan did just do that thing. That was unexpected. It is Saturday and I do gotta put out a Crypto Weekly Outlook video. So that's why I decided to go live right after he was done. It will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So it'll be out there. What is that range? Moni Johnson, I'm not sure which range you're referring to. Possibly the big capitulation range. That's a large range. So price tends to fill these ranges out when they are made. Not always, but generally speaking, they do. So like you can see how price, when it goes up, you still get pullbacks into the low areas of your previous weekly range, and then you get your continuation, as those are the areas where people are looking to buy. And it does the same thing when price is going down, but this went down so dramatically, so hard, and so quick, you never got any retests. This is your last weekly, that is the weekly capitulation range, and you have tested above the midpoint of that range. So you definitely don't want to see continuation on a weekly closing basis, as that would mean that the market is saying that that was a high enough test and you will be looking for downside continuation. However, there is a lot of area up in here that I firmly believe Bitcoin will probably test, even if it is going to start a bear market phase, right? Because when you do have these massive plummets like this, price tends to go back up roughly around 50% of the way down, as that's where investors will look to exit positions, roughly around the 50% retracement level or the 618. So those prices are 47716 for the 618, and for the 50 retracement is 43981. All right, those will be areas where investors who rode this move to the downside will possibly look to exit if they think that this is the top for this market cycle. So if they believe Bitcoin's put in its high and it is now going to possibly go up, that's going to be an opportunity for them to jump ship, which is another reason why I said you will possibly see increased selling at those price points because of that, right? And also new short sellers know this as well. If I know it, other people know it too, right? So they will be looking to take short side entries at those levels, which is why you tend to see a little bit of more selling going on at those areas. But if Bitcoin's going to remain bullish, then you want to see a daily closure above 47,716, as that would be fantastic. Be absolutely fantastic, as long as that daily close doesn't end up being a bull trap, of course. And the way you would know that is if you do get a daily closure above 47,716 and then the very next day ends up being a bearish reversal pattern, aka outside day, or bearish engulfing candle, then you can simply say that was probably a bull trap, and then you can make decisions on your position at that point in time. Hey bud, KSM please, says Steve S. Let's go look at it. KSM, USD Kraken. Let's go look at it. This looks pretty good. You had a big down range on your candle. This is, yep, that's not bad. That thing looks better than a lot of other cryptos. But before I get all saying that, let's see what kind of downside did we see. 68%. So it's just because of log. Let's take it off log, and that gives us a more clear picture as to what actually happened. So let's go into the daily real quick, as this is a perfect example as what I just talked about. So here was your highest high, right? You take your Fibonacci retracement from that high to this low. You can see you did get your daily closure above that 618 level, and then boom, that whole daily candles range was taken out. So this means that people were selling into this. However, it was tested over here already. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. People are selling this asset. All right, people are selling it. So this is what you want to watch right here. This is your last support since that bullish push up into those important levels, and that was your bullish break above, your close above. So if this trend is going to continue up, you do not want to see a daily closure below 378 spot 54. If you get that daily closure below that support level, then this push up was a bull trap, and you will be possibly looking for continuation to the downside. As of right now, it looks okay, right? It looks okay. But anybody that bought this way lower, like around 50 bucks, from 0 to 50 bucks, they're going to be exiting up here as they're looking at this as a top in the market, and they want to protect their profits. So they don't panic sell when you're seeing massive red candles. They wait for price to slowly push its way back up into your 618, your 50% retracement of the bearish break. So that's why you see increased selling at those levels. Can bulls pick it up right here? Absolutely. If this asset is going to remain bullish, because make no mistake, if you look at your quarterly chart, well, there's not much data, but it is a bullish chart. I mean, it's absolutely bullish, right? This is a retest on a quarterly basis, and so far it's moving higher. It's just impossible to know if it's buyers or, you know what I'm saying, or people exiting positions and whatnot. Dead cat bounce, so to speak. We will know real quick by this week probably if this was a bear or a bull trap. If you get a daily closure below that, then you're going to be looking for short side setups on this asset, targeting your next areas of support, which unfortunately first area would be 313.53, and then that bearish close at 289.35. So this is your line in the sand for KSM, 378 spot 54. Do not want to see a daily close below that. All right, as there is a bearish target right there, also that wick low at 342.12 right there. So anybody that did take a short position on this asset, they're probably going to shed some at support, as that's the way it's done. And then for bearish continuation, that wick low will be the target. But it doesn't necessarily mean that's what's happening. You are at support. You need to hold support. All right. What's up, Heath? Haven't been here for the live in a minute. Well, welcome back, Chody Doinks. Thank you for being here. Glad I got out of NOIA. Yes, I am glad you did so. Also, Kimberly, as that thing got absolutely slaughtered. Absolutely slaughtered. Disgusting, this price action on NOIA, BTC, and USDT. It's just absolutely getting plummeted. You can see on this asset, you have already taken out your capitulation weight to the downside. Already taken it out. You have bearish continuation. Next level of support, you're testing it now. It's going to be this bearish close right there. Boom. So until you get a bearish candle close, a daily close below 0.183129, you could possibly see a bullish bounce from here. A big one, it's highly unlikely. This thing is being absolutely shreked. People are getting out of it. They are running for the hills. You have seen a, let's go get it, 80% decline on this asset's total value. 80%. It's not good. It's not good. And you can look for further continuation to the downside. However, if you like this project, and if you're not trading it with 100x leverage, if you just want to own some, an 80% discount, that's a pretty good time to pick some up, in my opinion. Brandon and others have called for possible final shakeout or spring level to the 20s or lower before resuming. Any macro thoughts? You could see that. You could absolutely see that. I mean, that looks like what's kind of happening. You can't really put names to these things, guys. There is a lot of names for them, but one thing I want you to understand is Wyckoff wrote a bunch of books on these patterns. So he slapped his last name on it and got credit for it being an actual something. It's the same price patterns that's been playing out for years. These candles show you market sentiment, and people take decisions based on what they see in the market, based on overall sentiment. So that's why these things keep playing themselves over and over and over again. You are trading at the lows. The capitulation is all the way down here. You are making lower highs, but you are not making lower lows yet, right? So could you get a push lower? Yes. Could you get a push lower and then support and a big massive bullish candle to the upside? Yes, absolutely. As no one can predict what's going to happen in the market, you can simply use this kind of strategy to basically see what the order flow is happening in the market. As order flow drives price, right now the order flow looks and the sentiment is negative, absolutely negative. But a big pop out of this area would refuel investor sentiment, right? As that would be the first bullish sign that they've seen on Bitcoin since the drop. So that could inspire more buying. You could see more bullish reaction from down here. You absolutely could. That's how these wedge patterns work, essentially. It's all about sentiment. Good morning from the Gold Coast. Good morning from the Gold Coast, Australia. FETUSD, please. Absolutely. Let's go check it out. What was it again? FETUSD. FET dollar. Finex. Let's see what we got going on. It's getting destroyed. Boom. That was a massive leg of price to the downside. Retest. Lower highs. Boom. Support. Doing the same thing. Every pop in price is a selling opportunity. Here's where they were selling. At the supply zone. At the Heath level. At your order block. At whatever you want to call it. What it is it's leftover orders in the market. All right, boom. Those orders are tapped back into. This initiates more new short side setups, as well as people who have invested from down here are getting out because they understand that it's making lower highs and lower lows, and they no longer want to be associated with the asset. So this is why you see this thing trending to the downside, guys. And it's the same on all assets, all crypto assets right now. You have negative investor sentiment in the whole entire market. So they basically all have the overall same structure because it's about sentiment, investor psychology. That's why these patterns work and how they work. Kimberly Woods says, any thoughts on KCS USD? I just looked at that, I believe. Look at Woo, please. DS says, look at Woo, please. Woo. Is it Woo Trade? Woo Footlocker? I'm assuming that you're talking about this thing. Woo Trade / Tether. Had a nice big bullish run in the bullish phase of this market cycle, and you have had a big drop to the downside. So let's go see what we had to the lows. 80% off. All right, here is your fib level from the swing high to the swing low. you are trading or did get your daily closure above the 618. However, what happened? You had the very next day was not a bearish engulfing, as you did not take out that high, but you absolutely did trade lower than that bullish candle's low, as well as closed below it. This was a chance for people to get re-short. Looks like it's working. This is going to be an area where you're going to see more selling pressure on all these assets. So if your favorite cryptocurrency has not yet made it to that level and looks like it is heading to that level and you are long, you definitely want to think about managing your downside risk when it comes into that area. You can shed some of the position. You can move your stop loss up to break even. B, you can exit the full position and wait for this to stop. You're always going to miss something. All right, you're always going to miss moves. This channel is built and designed to help you learn where to find those higher probable areas to look for entries. You do not want to look for bullish entries right here, right now. Let it come down and find support. You're not going to be looking for any support on those fib levels. You will be looking for legitimate support that price said was support. You already got a daily closure below this one, so your next one is this bearish candle's closing price, 0.70701. This is going to be your next level of support. Next level of support down here. If you do get a close below that and a bullish push, people will look to re-engage short positions at 0.90152, and they will be targeting the next level of support, which would be this bearish candle right there. You also have a wick low right there, which will become a bearish target. If you do not and cannot close a daily candle below 0.70701, that would look good. That would look like bulls are defending the area. Looks like people are putting on new positions long to the upside. Then maybe you can look for bullish entries. But that has to happen first. As of right now, the sellers are in control. They are still in control. Yes, this was a bullish pop, but it is called a dead cat bounce. That's all this was. And if you keep making lower highs and lower lows, that will be exactly all it was. All right, you can go back in Bitcoin's history and look at how 2017 played out in the final run up. All right, in 2017, let's ride up over there. As like I said earlier in the stream, obviously past performance is not indicative of future results. Give me one moment. Here we are. All right, this was your run up, your massive parabolic bullish run to the upside. Boom, there is your top right there. Then you had your blow off. Boom. Then you had consolidation, making bullish moves as well as bearish ones, psyching out everybody on both sides of the market, but not people like me, right? No way, never. No, I'm just kidding. I do get psyched out sometimes. I got smoked on a pound USD trade this week. I finished it with a fantastic pound USD short on Friday, but I was just making a joke. There's your last bullish up close candle that is going to offer resistance. You can see you never did even trade back up into that before you took out your capitulation wick that to the downside. All right. Am I saying that this is what's going to happen on Bitcoin? No, I am not. I am simply making you aware that it is in fact a possibility. That is it. That is all I am saying. All right. So if we take a fib retracement level from our swing high to our capitulation wick low, you will see what happened. You got a daily push break above your 618. Another daily even push down into it to fake everybody out and make it think that this was a support test, and then boom, boom. Okay? So just because you do get a daily close above does not mean that that's the end all and be all of these financial markets. If it were that simple, I would be a trillionaire. It is not. This daily candle, this whole day was a fake out. And then you can see what happened after. Boom. Bearish trend commenced. So that's why I'm saying, even with this current price action that we have in Bitcoin, you may see something similar to that. That's not saying that I'm calling a bear market or the cycle top or that's where he's calling it. No, I'm not. I'm saying just be aware that it is a possibility. Bitcoin could absolutely find support down here and be trading at $150,000 by this time next year. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I am just trying to keep you with your eyes wide open so that way you can better make trading decisions to the fact to where you don't get wrecked by simply putting a buy order in a market. That's not how you do it, guys. Tony the Fish in the house. What is up, Tony the Fish? Welcome, my friend. And cheers to you, mate. Sushi, please, and a large Asahi. I'm not sure what that means. Apologies, but I will go see what we got on sushi. I do like ahi tuna. All right, sorry. Here we go. Sushi USDT on Binance. Oh, Sushi USDT on Binance getting slaughtered. Damn it. This is what you don't want to see, guys, right? You're trading right back down to your capitulation low weight. Now, just because you get down there, that doesn't mean that anything, right? Because it could get down there, stop everybody out, and then simply turn around and go back to the upside. These markets jigsaw back and forth, up and down, targeting areas of liquidity, as well as looking for levels in price where there are discrepancies. So you could get all the way back up to $20 just to basically take out this stuff that wasn't retested on this push higher. This is your lower high. You can see what it did. It traded right up into this market efficiency right there. Boom. That's when every smart trader in the world said, sell position on now. Boom. But they got a lot more continuation than they expected, right? Because you got a lot of bearish continuation. Now you got to bounce. You're heading back lower. Right now, I don't like it. This was your daily support level right there. Currently, $9.30. Well, it's 9013. So $9 and a penny. That was your support. There was your support test. There was your nothing because you got a daily closure back below it. Your support level was broken. And this candle, today's candle, is currently trying to break the last daily support level at 8.56. All right? You need to get it back above that. You need to retest that, and then you need to see continuation to the upside. But don't get too happy, as there is a level right there where compadres may look to go short again if this target doesn't get taken out. It's only after this target gets taken out where everything changes. The whole market dynamic can shift, right? Because there's a lot of buy orders sitting here where people were trying to buy these capitulation lows. Because you'd be surprised how many people try to pick tops and bottoms in these markets. So there's a lot of buy orders, a lot of sell orders at a lower price. And the market may reach for those sell orders. So, but there's your levels to watch right now, 8.56 and 10.07. Thank you so much for the super chat, Travis Hagen. ETH looking sharp versus Bitcoin this weekend. Does it look like the strength continues at least near term? Thanks, dude, and fantastic short session with Jordan. Thank you so much once again for the super chat, Travis. Let me go check that out for you. Let's not look at the Kraken one, as nobody can trade Kraken anymore unless they got 10 million bucks in the bank. So here, right here, BTC pairings. There is ETHBTC right there. Let's go look at it. He's looking sharp versus Bitcoin this weekend. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a strong push into there, but this is an old level. Right there was where resistance probably should have happened. You did take out the high of yesterday's candle, which is good. It's going to be important to see where ETHBTC closes on this daily. You got 58 minutes left on the close. So if you close here or higher, obviously you will have broke back above that level. So this was your push lower, stopping out these wicks right here. You did have a daily level down there, but you never got to it. So let's see what happens. I do not like this section of price. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 days that went straight down and the closes happened roughly relatively close to the low of day. That's extremely weak, right? Extremely weak. You don't want to see closes right next to the low of day. So this could just be a retest of price, and it can go all the way up to this old area up here, but that would be this area now at 0.75752. You definitely got to get back above that if you intend on this asset being bullish. Your capitulation wick low on this asset is all the way down there, aka bearish target. But like I said, that opening price of that bearish candle will probably act as a little bit of support if sellers re-engage on this. It doesn't look absolutely terrible. This thing only came off a little over 30%, but it does look like this pop in price, people exited, and that's why you got such a massive move to the downside. I wouldn't be looking for bullish entries on it just yet, my friend. Just yet. I would want to see this wick get smoked first, smoke this wick to the downside, and then show me higher highs and higher lows on a daily closing basis. And yeah, sure, I might look to get long on this asset again myself. But as of right now, you took out daily support. You're testing daily support as resistance currently. So give it a few days to see what it wants to do, my friend. Just give it a few days. Let me go back up where it was. Where was I? Just give me 1 minute. Oh, there we go. Tony the Fish in the house. Sushi, that was the last one I looked at. Narwhal Taco says ICP is an ungodly exciting project, but definitely acting like a pump and dump for the time being. Looks like it to me, my friend. Aaron C, what's up, my friend? Yo, 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 what is up, traders? Welcome. Good morning, Heath from Australia. Good morning, Anthony. Would appreciate a quick peek at Link if you have a moment. Absolutely, let's go look at Link. I haven't looked at Link in a minute. Where you at, Linky Linky? Stinky Linky? So this is kind of what we were looking at. We started making higher or lower highs and lower lows. There was your support test. Boom, boom. There's your close below. So now your support's down here. Look at that beautiful test. You got a daily bounce off of it. Are you looking for bullish entries right here? Not just yet. You need to get a daily closure. In my opinion, I wouldn't do anything on Link until you get a daily closure above this trend line right there. All right. As of right now, the bears are in control of this asset. I wouldn't take a breakout because I am not a breakout trader. What you want to see is you want to see a big bullish push, then a few days of consolidation, looking for support at one of these areas here or here, something like that. Then you can look for possible bullish entries. In my opinion, there is nothing to do on this asset until that happens, or if it happens, because I don't know that that will happen. But that's kind of what the market sentiment is on it right now. I don't like the fact that you just took out support, tested it, and went lower. So the bears are in control of price as of right now. Order flow is to the downside. Sellers are in control. So just give it a minute. Like everything else in this market, guys, you're gonna have to just be a little bit patient right now. Set on your hands, pretty please. I'm asking you as a friend. Don't get wrecked. Just give it time. We will have more clarity as more data comes in. I promise you. So coins like MATIC and DOGE going down rest of the night. Oh, I'm not saying that at all. I have no clue what price is gonna do. I take entries, short entries and long entries based on what I see happening with order flow that day, right? Right now you're testing support, so you're definitely not looking to get short in front of support, as this support level could hold. I'm not saying it's going to continue lower for the rest of the night. What I'm simply saying is watch this area of support. If you get an 8-hour closure below it, then yes, you may see continuation to the downside. It doesn't look like that's what's happening right now, does it? Let's go to the 8-hour chart. You are getting a bullish push, trying to get a bullish push off of this area. I would not take this short entry. Absolutely not. This was the entry, the more appropriate entry, or the more sexy entry, I guess you could say. right? Because the risk to reward was better. Now the risk to reward is cut in half from the same level to the same level, or from this level to the same target. You do have a bearish target right there, but like I said, this is massive support. It came all the way from over here, and it lines up, coincides nicely with your daily low support since this stuff here, right? This is your capitulation wick to the downside. You're testing it, and testing it. It's not exactly perfect with the 8-hour support. I understand that, but Doge trades with very thin liquidity, so you do get gaps in intraday price action on the hourly and such and such. So if this was FX, that daily and 8-hour would probably coincide very nicely with one another. It is close enough for me to count both of them as daily and 8-hour support, or that one area, so to speak. So you could get a bounce from here. I've already taken profits on this push lower. When we pushed into support, I took 2/3 of my position size off, and I moved my stop loss to break even. So this way, if you do get a bullish bounce from support and it comes all the way up and takes me out of the trade, guess what? I made a fantastic trade. It was like 12 or 13% on the overall accounts equity. That's a fantastic trade. So the trade, in my opinion, was Friday. It's not now. You're just too close to support. So give it a couple days. Let's see what happens. See if we can take out this resistance up here. This bullish candle's resistance is going to be up there. That's your daily resistance, 34,324. This bullish closing candle. You could get a daily closure above that. If you do, then you may be looking for higher prices in the near term. What are your thoughts on ETHUSD for a short entry? I don't like it. You're testing support right now. Right now. Your best short entry would have been up here, and then you would have shedded profits into support. You don't want to take a short into support. You just don't want to do that. There's not much risk to reward. You are closing green on the day. Doesn't necessarily mean anything because you close green on this day as well, and the next day you've seen bearish continuation. Can you see that tomorrow? Yeah, probably. But just know that people like me already took profits, so you're getting short as they're taking profits. Not really what you want to do. You want to learn how to get short when everybody else is getting short, because you want to also be the type of person that's causing a dead cat bounce because you're exiting your short position at support. That's what creates a dead cat bounce. That coupled with retail buying at those levels, this is why you get bullish bounces off of support. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to continue lower, my friend. Apologies for that. What are your thoughts on? Oh, sorry, I just read that one as well. Thank you so much. Thanks, Heath. Can you look at MATIC versus SLOANA? Oh wow, I bet that's very illiquid. Let's go look at it though. I've never even seen it. MATIC. Oh, are you saying MATIC and SLOANA? That makes more sense because it doesn't look like those two assets trade against each other. So we'll go look at here. I got MATIC USDT over here. Let's go look at it. Yeah, see? There's your bearish continuation. This was nothing more than a fake out move to the upside. You are having bearish continuation. However, it's the same thing. This was your bearish target, that wick low. You took that target out yesterday. Now it's time to wait for price to slowly move higher to possibly find resistance. You may find resistance at one spot 4781. This area right there. All right? You may. Doesn't always work. Those levels don't always work. But that would make a risk to reward a little bit better, as if you got an entry there and you put a stop above there, you could be targeting for this wick low, or at least the close of that daily candle, which is support, right? So that would have a higher risk to reward, but it doesn't mean that it is going to work. Down here, there's nothing to do. You are trading right into an area where you're going to find a bounce, and you are getting that bounce. This is your daily Heath level. All right, daily supply zone. I mean, in this case, it would be a demand zone. So that's what you're getting a bounce from. You got to see price trade higher in order to possibly look for another entry short. And to be honest with you, I don't think I would want to get in this thing short again until we get a push above one spot 5411. So let's get rid of these lines, and I will go ahead and just put this out here for you. If I get a push above one spot 5340, right, a push up into this area here, I may look for another short setup, as long as we aren't closing an 8-hour candle above one spot 5807. All right, so a push up into that area would offer, in my opinion, a nice spot to look for a fantastic short trade to the downside. However, like I said, 8-hour closure above one spot 5807, this level, that short trade is scrapped, as the bulls are in control. And you don't want the bulls to be in control, you want the shorts or the sellers to be in control. Notice how when you got this push after this bullish candle was put in, you never got a retest of it. All right, so people getting short here, it was a fantastic trade. So when price, if price trades back up into that area, they're going to short it again. And that would be a mistake. Because if price trades all the way back up there, it's inherently telling you something, right? Hey, it's all the way back up here again. Wow. Right. Wait for that run up on those stops. Then look for a rejection wick roughly around there. You can get a wick all the way up to one spot 6327. All the way up to there. As long as your 8-hour closes back below that area, then and only then would I be willing to risk 1% to see if I will get bearish continuation to the downside. All right, but those are the areas to watch on MATIC. I will be looking to short that if we get up in there and it plays out like I just said. Absolutely fantastic. 8-hour closure above this level, then I'm no longer looking for shorts. I'm no longer looking for them, unless maybe we'll discuss that when it happens, if it even happens. This thing could just keep going lower, guys. It doesn't. Technical analysis is only 10% of profitably trading. The other 90% is you dealing with your emotions and learning how to be patient. Those things. Consistent in your entries, consistent in your exits. These are all things that makes a trader profitable, not technical analysis. And SOLANA. Let's go look at SOLANA. Another fantastic hot asset people love to trade. Looks like this thing only trades on FTX, Huobi, and FTX and Huobi. Looks like that's the only two exchanges you can trade this thing on. Let's go to the daily. See what we got on the daily. So it looks like we're breaking down. Let's get rid of those levels as they are old levels from a previous live stream. There you go, is your daily resistance right there. Price attempted on 1, 2, 3, 4 days to get above daily resistance and failed. Boom, there it goes. Here was your daily support right there. There's your daily break, your daily close below. Not only did it take out this daily support level, it also took out this daily support level. This target is still intact on this asset. 33 spot 5700. That is still intact. A pushback up to, I don't think you would get a pushback all the way up to that level. So what I do in circumstances like this is I will go into a smaller time frame and see if I can find a level in there in the area that I'm looking. And there we go, there is one right there. So maybe I wouldn't like this one either, it's just too close. But if we could get a push back up into there, like 40 spot 990, 99, then maybe. This level right here may hold price. You may not. So just watch your 4-hour closures. All right. You get a 4-hour closure above 38 spot 72. You're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait. Because you may be running up to beat this stuff up here. You could get a wick all the way up to, like I said, this area up in here, 40,000 or $40. Then the short opportunity looks a little bit better. Because like I said, this is still uncharted territory. So we'll keep an eye on SOLANA. Give me one moment, please, as I like it. can I? No, I just said that. I can't trade it. So never mind. I can't trade this asset. So put you a little alert around 38 bucks, 38.72. And then your TA are awesome. Well, thank you, FaceAl. And apologies if I did not say your name correctly. THETABTC. Let's go look at that. Let's go look it up. Ooh, you took out all-time highs. Maybe. Yep. Took out all-time highs and then bounced. This is different. This is what ETHBTC also did. It didn't go up and take out all-time highs. What it did do, though, is trade it up into a level, close to a level, and then reversed. This is nothing more than a stop hunt. That's all that was. Price got pushed up to there to get everybody FOMOing back into this asset, and then they reversed it right in their face. You're probably going to see continuation off this move. You do have daily support under you. That was your old resistance level until you broke above it. That is your break above. So that will offer up a possible small short-term bounce, but I would look for that bounce to get faded right there. 0.000239, 23,900 Satoshis. That's where I would look for it to possibly get faded, or even up a little higher. But I would look for it to get faded, as that is obvious in what they were attempting to do right there. So I would probably stay away from it for now. What are your thoughts on the upcoming possible death cross on Bitcoin? It looks like it's gonna happen, that's for sure. Here we go, check it out. Yeah, it's incoming. You're trading many days below your 200 moving average, which is another thing I do not like for the bulls, because usually Bitcoin 200 on a daily is a fantastic buying opportunity. So you may get like 3 or 4 days of chop below the 200 and then a big strong bullish candle back above it, right? We didn't get that. You're still trading far beneath that 200, as also making lower highs. So when I say I am looking for this thing to break out above this descending wedge, I don't mean that it's going to happen, nor do I think it's the higher probable setup. Right now, the risk is pushing lower. It feels like there's more risk to the upside, as so many people are just shorting the guts out of it. So yes, you could get a big strong bounce to the upside. To be honest with you, you can trade all the way up to $43,000, and then if you start making lower closes, these two lines are going to cross. The death cross is when the 50 EMA or the 50 SMA crosses the 200 EMA or SMA. It's the 50 and 200. Those are the two technical indicators that must cross to constitute a, what you just said, death cross, right? There's not very many times in Bitcoin's history that you did get a death cross on the daily that it didn't play out for at least some bearish continuation. Right here, this was March, right? Sell off, you got your death cross, boom, right there. You got some more bearish continuation. But once you got back above your daily 200 EMA, that was a fantastic area to look for buying opportunities, right? So that could still happen, guys. That's what I tell you. Markets are 100% random. Nobody knows what's going to happen. There's not a technical indicator in the world that can predict future price action. You get a daily closure back above all this stuff right here, something is different possibly, right? Look to see if you get a retest of any pertinent price levels once that happens for bullish entries. That's all you can do. And then at that point, you're not going 100x long thinking you're going to get rich because we're going all the way back up to all-time highs. You are simply looking for your next area of resistance or possible resistance, and at which point you will take profits. Move your stop up to break even to position yourself for a possible trend continuation. And that's the safest and, in my opinion, best way to trade. So to answer your question, yeah, if Bitcoin keeps trading down below it, it's going to happen. The cross is incoming. maybe in the next week, 2, maybe 3. If you don't get a bullish push out of this area soon, you will see a death cross. Did you try Sprite or citrus and 7-Up? Oh, no, I have not tried it yet, my friend. It's telling me I should try 7-Up for my cocktail again. I haven't tried it yet. I will give it a shot. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Yay, Saturday vids. Thanks. You're welcome, Tony Koenig. You're taking requests. I'd love to see Mara and Riot and Cardano. All right, let's go look at them. We'll start with Riot, as that is everybody's favorite meme stock. To be honest, it does trade with Bitcoin. You are back above your 200 EMA on a daily closing basis, but this thing follows Bitcoin, so it's going to do what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin keeps continuing to make lower lows and lower highs, this thing will do that as well. So the reason I still have 3649 as a possible area of resistance is that was your last support level. I don't count this this bullish candle as support or resistance, as this was a gap down and then you got a day up and it closed above. So that bearish candle's support is still intact, and it proved it when you pushed back down into it right there and then right there. But that close right at that level would have been indicative to me that you're possibly going to break. You did get that break. You never retested that level. Not perfectly. This was about as close as you got to retesting it. All right, so you may push back up to 3649, but I would expect a little bit of resistance to happen at that point. It does look like you have got a daily break above this old resistance level, right? So see if that area holds a support. You may have a short near-term trade. You could possibly look for bullish entries, but I would only be looking for the next area of resistance at the most. Because once price gets up in this area, it will look more attractive for short side setups, targeting lows, right? So that's what you got going on Riot. Let's go look at Mara. This is another, oh, that's not an M, is it? M-A-R-A, as it's basically about the same thing. So it looks pretty similar, right? It's got a little bounce going on right now. Same scenario, almost the exact same thing. Same day, same everything. There was your bearish candle, that was your support. Like I said, this bullish candle does not count, as it was a gap down and then price traded back up. Boom, this was your legitimate break below support. 3106 is your support, old support, possible resistance incoming. There is a gap. That gap was filled. Close enough. That's a gap fill there. The one thing that is different, nope, it's not. You got a daily break above resistance. Right there is your resistance level. That bullish candle right there. So you did get a daily break above. You have taken out this high, so you have made a higher high. However, this scenario remains the same. If you are looking for bullish entries, you are only looking for bullish entries to your next area of possible resistance, at which point I would shed a lot of, if not most of, that position. Move your stop up to break even. That's what I would do if I were going to trade it. So what was the other one? Cardano. Right there. Cardano was looking good, but we did get that break below, right? There you go. That's where it should be. Trading View moving my lines again. There's your daily break below. But it's the same thing. You're into support, right? So we can't look for shorts into support. We got to let this play out for a minute. See what happens. I don't see anything that I absolutely love as far as where I might want to take that short. I would say that this level up here would be better if I would get it. And then as long as price showed me an unwillingness to close a daily above that price point, then the next day or two I might look for short side setups, right? But it's got a long time before it gets there. So I wouldn't do anything on it myself. I wouldn't be buying it. I wouldn't be selling it. Not right now. So Can't help much on that one. Apologies. Yeah, NOIA looks terrible, Oliver. Absolutely it does. Great content as always, brother. Thank you, Robert Mitchell. Can anyone mention the most promising asset that he's covered so far? I'm still going to watch the whole thing. Yeah, there's not much promising stuff happening in the markets, Tony, unfortunately. I am looking for Bitcoin to break out of a descending wedge. Unfortunately, we got to wait for that to happen. That's about it. Like, that's pretty much it, unfortunately. That is about it. I am waiting for that to take place. I don't know that it will. I'm just assuming that it may. If we start getting a lower, like if we take out that support on a daily closing basis, that main support down there, then I don't even expect that to play out at that point anymore. Right? These things just have a tendency to break out to the bullish side. They don't always break out to the bullish side. As someone in the chat earlier so eloquently put it, it looks just like a regular bear flag to them. And that's essentially what it is. It's a bear pennant pattern, a bear flag, or a descending wedge formation. Sometimes they break out to the upside, sometimes they don't. Link, please. Yes, I did look at Link. I will try my best to get some chapters into this video. I have... I think he's asking for Link, the asset. Well, he did call a blow off top on a monthly basis. Yeah, technically, my friend, it does look like a blow off top to me. Absolutely. I did call that. YFI, please. I'm thinking we looked at this already. No, maybe we didn't. So I don't know what I got going on there. That's obviously not in play at all. Yeah, doing the same thing. All these other crypto assets are. So I would use this support as it is your nearest one, and it is the closest one to near-term price. So YFI may get a bounce from here. You may have support on an 8-hour or something. No, you technically do not. Yeah. This thing looks very, very weak, my friend. Very weak. It's doing the same thing, though. It's putting in this wedging triangle slash whatever. So to be on the safe side, wait for a breakdown or wait for a breakout. Right? There's nothing to do in this current section of price. Mohammed, I did look at SLOANA. Apologies. Is there a buying pressure at there? No. You are not seeing any buying pressure on any of these assets, unfortunately. USDT. We just covered it. I did cover... There it is. Yeah, nah. Doesn't look like buying pressure to me. At all. Not even a little bit. You tested support, you got a bullish bounce. Your bullish bounce was faded. You're back into support. That's not bullish. Bullish is higher highs and higher lows. This is your high. Boom. You haven't taken out your low yet in this section of price, but overall, you are only making lower highs. You got to get all the way above this wick high up here before you can say it has made a higher high. That's a long way. So anything underneath this lower high is just another lower high. That's not bullish. That's not buying pressure. That's selling pressure. Brilliant analysis, Heath, as always. Thank you so much. Time and Nestine, thank you so much for your work. You are welcome. Yes, Keith, you're the best. Thank you. Mr. Steve, my name is Heath with an H like the candy bar. That's okay. Many people call me Keith, and some even call me Steve for whatever reason. It's all good, my friend. U.S. Navy driver, VSP. ETH, VSP versus Ethereum. I have no clue what this is. I have never traded it. Or are you asking for two assets in one? Let me see. Yes, it looks like you are doing that. This thing has no liquidity. There are simple ticks on an 8-hour time frame. Stay very, very far away from this asset. Look at this. 2 8-hour sessions. That means that you had a whole London session and a whole New York session, and this thing did absolutely nothing but make one tick. That means there are no market makers in this. Not many. your stop losses can get slipped. You may not get filled on a massive lower push. Like if you get one of those bark candles to the downside, you may get skipped. You may not get filled. You may get margin called. Stay away from illiquid assets. It's just not safe. And I already looked at Ethereum. Unfortunately, WYCKOFF breakout and markup. I don't follow WYCKOFF, guys. I am not a student of it. I cannot tell you like what it's do. I can tell you what the overall theme is of it, like your distribution, which is a 3-drive topping formation, is all it is. But I can't tell you like all of it. He's got so many books and stuff, and I just can't. I'm a price action trader. I'm not a WYCKOFF trader. There are several YouTube channels out there that claim to know WYCKOFF theory, but it's just price action in a sense, and your markets basically always trade the same. Everything's fractal. You got negative market sentiment right now, negative investor sentiment. So yeah, these things play off. I don't know if this is a springboard. I don't know what it is. Looks like it's forming a wedging pattern. We are waiting for a breakout, either to the upside or the downside, as that will be more data, and we will be able to make better trading decisions once that data has taken place. Lab S looks like another pump and dump project. Does it appear to be on the chart? I've never heard of it either. Let's go see USD. How long have we been going? An hour and 30 minutes. So I'm gonna start wrapping it up in a minute. No. Yes. Yeah, it looks like a pump and dump. Absolutely. ICO, boom. Higher high. People that built it sold into it instantly. Stay away from that. Far, far away. Just showed up. Ashi is a Japanese lager, Florida boy. Thank you, Nick LaFon. I have never had it before. Maybe I will ask for it and take a shot of sake and use that ashi as a chaser, because I'm gangster. All right, guys. I know there's a lot more comments under where I am. Basically, if you're new to this channel, welcome, first and foremost. If you're not, I basically read the comments as they come in into the chat window. Obviously, I take I do the super chats when they come in, if they come in front of other questions, but I generally just read them as I go, and I always run out of time, always. Unfortunately, I just cannot answer all the questions. So what I will say is what I usually say. If you have an asset that you want me to take a look at and give you a couple price areas for you to watch, then when YouTube gets done uploading this video, you can simply leave that asset in the comment section and I will respond to it. I always try to respond to every single person unless they're just trolling me. So before I go, I always must say thank you so much to the channel members and Patreons. Those people are awesome. I am so thankful for each and every one of you, as you guys rock. So for everybody else, right now, to take from this session is Bitcoin is wedging up. That means it's trading inside of a range. There is no very high probable setups to take on it just yet. If you are looking for a higher probable setup, let Bitcoin break up out of this range. If it breaks out to the upside, I promise you, next crypto live stream I do, and even the 2 live streams I do through the inside of the week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we will be all over it. I promise you. So just wait. Just give it time. Let this wedge or this formation, whatever it is, let it finish. And after it is finished, then we can go from there, as more data is always better for making trading decisions. With that being said, thank you guys so much for showing up. I really appreciate it. Make sure you trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And happy trading, everybody. And for you CTM members and Trade Talk members, I will see you in the chat. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow evening for the Forex Weekly Outlook. That will be around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Forex Market Open. You guys have a wonderful evening.